Hello everyone, once again, my name is Amnesia, and I'm going to try to cast another game tonight, since the last one was a little bit anticlimactic. Hopefully this one will be a little bit more exciting. We're going to have Cozy playing as our purple Zerg here on the bottom right-hand side of Neo Tau Cross, and over on the left-hand side here we'll have the blue Terran player, AlmightySosa. Also want to mix up the matchup a little bit. I've been getting a lot of TvZs sent in, right? No, PVTs, sorry. PVTs sent in. We're going to try ZVT and mix it up a little bit. I do love this matchup. The zoning is so fun in this matchup, and I get to see lurkers quite a bit, which is always cool. One of my favorite units in Brood War, for sure. Let's see, lurker was probably right up there with my favorite. I know my one friend was absolutely obsessed with them. And what else? What else did I really love? I'm trying to think of Valkyrie. I loved the Valkyrie too. Like, you get a bunch of those and they just disintegrate air units. Of course, like, I don't think in competitive games they use them as much as I did, being a noob. But like, I remember playing on a mass attack. I forget which one it was. There was like a certain mass attack game that I played where Valkyries was one of the levels, and you just like I'd just sit there and like try to camp on that level for as long as possible, so that I could just like mass up these Valkyries, and then nobody could ever touch me when it came to air after that. But the Zerg player gonna go ahead and expand. He's gonna take a second hatchery. Oh no, this is scouting. Okay. There goes the spawning pool just now. I thought he was gonna go up here and like hide a hatchery. I forgot that he's just scouting with that drone. That he doesn't know where his opponent is yet. And AlmightySosa does get scouting information in there. He scouted the correct direction right away, and he's gonna put a bunker in the middle line. I don't know if Cozy can see this. Yeah, okay, he can. It's like right there. So he knows this is happening. I'm surprised he's not pulling some drones to take care of this, but this is a nice spot. This SCV is gonna be safe. On this side at least. The whole time he's constructing anywhere in like the bottom right half. Bunker finishes. That was really quick. And now finally the drone's gonna make their way over here. Put a bunker down, but he didn't make anything to go with it, so I guess he's just counting on he's gonna force them to lose mining time, I guess. Kind of well, I guess if he salvages it, it's not really that expensive, so clever. Now that he sees that no Marines are coming, he's like, alright, I'll just mine. Got down to about half health. Not going to take long to finish that off. Oh, and a Marine is slowly making his way down the map here. I don't know how much damage he's going to do, though. Even these drones, I think. Oh, there's Zergling spot outs. This is definitely not going to happen. The Marine going to show up anyway, just as the bunker's burning. He loads up into it anyway. That is got to be the least safe bunker of all time. And the Marine standing amongst the wreckage. Gonna take out one of the Zerglings. Another Zergling. This drone's coming to like repair the Zergling real quick. Man, they regenerate health quickly. He's like, it's good to go again already. It's pretty nuts. And gonna go ahead and wall off his natural now, AlmightySosa. Putting down 2 supply depots. That should unsupply block him here eventually. But nice little wall off there. This one Zergling not going to be able to do anything with the 2 Marines behind the wall in progress. This Overlord chilling out over here, kind of in a hidden spot, not really able to see much. Got another Overlord here that decides that he should probably float his way out of that base before these Marines head down there. Bunkers, what is the bunker build time? That seems super quick. 27 seconds. It's pretty quick. 21 seconds. So you start about a Marine and a bunker at about the same time, they'll finish. Pretty close to the same time. By the time the Marine walks over, the bunker should be finished. Pretty good to know. Let's see, where's the scan going down? Oh, at the third, and he sees the third just as it's being put down. Really fortunate for him there. Pretty passive game so far. We've got Terran trailing by just a little bit of supply here, but he's gonna have to do something here to punish the Zerg, make sure that the Zerg isn't just droning up so hard. And we have one factory completed, not really producing anything yet. No research going on at it either, but a second factory on the way. And Zergling's just chilling out. I mean, both players just playing really super passive. So this is a diamond level game. And from the description, it sounded pretty action-packed, so maybe we just have to wait for it to pick up pace here. There's our first vulture arriving on the scene. It's so quiet. Is there music on? It is enabled, so this vulture. It took me forever on Brood War to learn that there was actually a rider on the vulture. He's pretty obvious in StarCraft 2, but in StarCraft 1 it took me forever to realize that there was actually a guy sitting there on the vulture. Kind of blew my mind when I first learned about it. These Zerglings moving up. Vulture gonna be able to pick them off. The first real action we've seen other than that bunker rush kind of thing earlier. Vulture kills off 2 Zerglings, decides that's enough. Now he's looking for that third one. Must have seen it, so. Now he's just gonna cruise on down here, see what he can do at the third. Spinecrawler is on the way. I'm not sure. What's the Spinecrawler build time? 36 seconds, so. A couple of Zerglings here should be able to pick these up, especially if they're on hold position. Interesting choice for that. Dropping the spider mines there. One will burrow. These are the old spider mines again, so not able to lock on there and do any damage. Now these vultures going into passive mode. They saw the spine crawlers on the way, and they're just not willing to go back into that. They're pretty keen on not going into that. Overseer on the way to start cleaning up some of these mines. I'm not sure how Zerglings do. I'm pretty sure with the old mines, Zerglings can actually defuse the mines, which is nice if you play Zerg. Not so nice if you're Terran. I mean, the minefields were pretty useless, but I feel like it's kind of a hard thing to balance, I guess, because before it was like Zealots could defuse minefields and that was dumb, but now it's like nothing can defuse minefields, and I feel like it's just a lot stronger. I feel like in StarCraft 2 that wasn't Brood War, but maybe that's just me. Maybe it might just take some time to getting used to handle them. I remember like Widow mines were considered retardedly overpowered when they first came out, but now people handle them pretty well, so we'll see how this evolves. Oh, the spider mines actually finishing off the vultures there. Too bad. The vultures probably could have lived if it weren't for the spider mines detonating on them. But AlmightySosa is about ready to finish up his third here, and then he will be on pretty nice economy. Always really comfortable if you can be on the same number of bases as your opponent when you're playing Terran, because your army is that much more powerful. We have Mutalisks on the way, those 6 on the way out right now. I don't believe we have any on the field yet. No, these will be the first 6, a 7th now on the way, plus 1 air attacks on the way. Ventral sacks for Overlord carrying. No Overlord speed yet though, so these are going to be really slow transport units. That's alright, because we're going to have plenty of time. These Ultralisks should be able to pin the Terran player back in his base. We have missile turrets, Goliaths all on the way. Scan's going down right there. He knows that the Spire exists. I'm pretty sure he knew already, but now he knows for sure. He's even going to see some Mutalisks flying out there, so he knows this is happening. This Vulture actually scouting all the Ultralisks, or all the Mutalisks flying to their rally point. I don't know why I call them Mutalisks Ultralisks all the time. I guess because I think like Mutalisks are pretty ultra-tastic. That's not a real word, but you get what I'm saying. Like the ultra unit. 6 Mutalisks not able to do much damage, able to wound a couple of SCVs, but not more than that, and he's just going to bring them back home. Guess that's pretty much as he wanted to do with that. And he might fly over here to the third and see if he can get some work done, but lots of missile turrets coming up. And this Overlord here, Overseer actually, still able to get a lot of scouting information done. And he just doesn't really have a huge presence. I feel like if Cozy would just mass any unit up right now, he can move right through. But instead he's going to take a 4th base and just keep macroing up. Let's take a look at the income tab. We have 66 workers. The Terran player actually has a huge worker lead, which is kind of surprising. But these Mutalisks trying to fight, I did it again. But they are able to pick off missile turret at the cost of a couple of Mutalisks. Missile turret come down over here, and he is going to try to secure this base. So the Terran player keeping up with bases, keeping ahead with workers actually. I just realized that this is kind of strange. Oh, was the Vulture sitting here already? That's why he chose this one for his 4th. I'm guessing. This vulture though gonna scout out this base here. Looks like in just a minute. And these mutalisks gonna fly up here, see what they can see. Holy cow, this is such a passive game. The spider mines here are gonna stop this expansion. Zerglings, mutalisks. Looks like Cozy's plan of attack is just to build up as many mutalisks as he can off of the workers that he already has. His 43 workers there. He had 45 earlier, so he's just building buildings. Not really replenishing the workers. Just getting more and more mutalisks out, getting some upgrades. And you can see his money starting to build up a little bit, but so is the Terran players, as Terran players taking a lot of bases. So big Zergling run in here. Not a lot to defend against, so these Zerglings might do huge damage on these. But a couple of them are trying to run over and attack the Goliath. This Goliath worth his weight in gold right now. He's got 3 kills, 4 kills, not even taking any damage. These Zerglings on full position, not actually attacking anything. But then this missile turret might fall. And if the missile turrets do fall, then the Mutalisks will have a chance to fly in and do something. But looks like the Mutalisk is going to go for a flanking attack here into the main. Grouping up there, he's got quite a few in. Big bunch here. Takes out that Goliath real quick. These are at a horrifying number of mutalisks right now. They can just pretty much one-shot anything they want to. And this is where you really need to start having science vessels out to start dealing with these huge numbers and force the Zerg player to separate their mutalisks. If the fusion core on the way, might be able to see some battle cruisers come out here. We actually have 2 armories to get those double upgrades, so you might just be getting the fusion core to increase his vehicle slash ship upgrades. But now we are starting to see the Terran player's economy kick in. He's got quite a few siege tanks. He's got some, like a large amount of Goliaths and some vultures. But I don't know, the mutalisks are in really high numbers right now. Picking up this vulture as he scouts around. But these mutalisks are in pretty big numbers. I'm not sure, but we are going to get filers out too. It's very, very good to have filers and ultralisks on the way. Tunneling claws, as well as Zerg melee attacks level 2. So both players gearing up here. They both macroed up pretty hard, and they are taking advantage of it now, moving into the late game, getting all the necessary tech. We still don't have any science vessels, so if the Zerg player can pick some good engagements, it'll go really well for him. Especially if we can get some Dark Swarm out there, and then some Mutalisks in. I guess nothing Mutalisks onto the Dark Swarm. Get the idea. Mutalisks flying right over the Goliaths. A couple of Goliaths distracted by some roaches. That's exactly what you want. So these Mutalisks can do the huge amount of damage that they need to, and there's still so many mutalisks here. It looks like the Terran player is forced to retreat. Might not even be able to save any of this. His army moves so slow, being comprised mostly of mech. The roaches though run in the opposite direction. These tanks gonna try to focus down with the spine crawlers real quick. They might be able to focus on the hatchery if they get to working right now, but they're not. They're just gonna sit here, wait for the mutalisks to fly in, maybe pick up a few roaches before they die, but the rest of these tanks will be cleaned up easily. Now he's gonna try to focus down the hatchery, but it's far too late. And suddenly, AlmightySosa's earlier economic lead is just falling apart. Now he's just trying to mass up Goliath to deal with the mutalisks, but the mutalisks are just in such high numbers that I don't think it's going to be enough. Really, really need to get those science vessels out, or just something else at least to deal with these mutalisks other than a whole lot of Goliaths. Maybe some Vikings with their splash damage. The roaches can be cleaned up there pretty easily. That's going to stop these roaches from coming up here and doing their counterattack. And fortunately for AlmightySosa, he's catching a lot of the Zerg army out of position here, getting a lot of free kills, cleaning up these roach numbers. I think these really got to watch out for the mutalisks, which are flying back now. We're doing a little bit of harassment up here. And he is getting Vikings now, so that's good. That splash damage adds up pretty quickly when the mutalisks clump up like this. And finally, Cozy going to take the fight. AlmightySosa going to try to take out the 4th base from the Zerg player. Goliaths, so just not doing as much damage as they need to. The siege tank's a little bit out of position to start attacking this base. They're not firing on the roaches, but the mutalisks are just so terrifying. A couple of them actually finally getting cleaned up though. As long as the Goliaths are focusing on the mutalisks, they'll be able to dent the numbers quite a bit. And he does. Because the mutalisks count down to now. Like 14 mutalisks, but the Terran player did have to sacrifice basically his entire army. Now we've only got vultures of 1 Viking, 2 Goliaths, and 2 tanks here. More Vikings joining into the group here. And AlmightySosa kind of playing it a little bit like StarCraft 2, keeping all his units real clumped up in one position, trying to deathball his way through it, and we can see that causes this base to just be totally abandoned. No workers can mine there for fear of the Mutalisks. The Mutalisks can come up here and clean up this base before it has a chance to get saturated. And AlmightySosa, realizing his entire army is out of position to deal with that, so he's just going to try to move in here for a counterattack. But the Zerg's army is just much faster than his. You can see he's already working his way back over there, and he should be in place to deal with this. Mutalisk is so fast, they're going to finish off this command center and should fly home in a second. A couple of Ultralisks on the way. I'm not even sure he needed them. He might have just stuck to Mutalisk play and it would have worked out just fine for him. But the Spider-Man's going down. And a couple of them connect with the Ultralisks, but the Ultralisks under the Dark Storm not going to take any damage. And there we go, you can see as soon as they climb out of there, the siege tanks do a number on them. And the roaches take quite a bit of damage as well. AlmightySosa might be able to clean up this space after all. And the numbers getting really slim on both sides. These Vikings could land and help out a little bit. The Filer hanging out in the back. Important to keep that alive. They are so expensive. Another Ultralisk joining in there might be enough to just finish off the rest of the Terran forces, but it looks like AlmightySosa does not have quite enough to finish this push. The Vikings can be able to clean up a couple of Overseers, which is nice, but not as nice as being able to take out this base. He's having trouble keeping his fourth. The Zerg player does have his fourth back up, but a couple of Goliaths can come down here and chase the roaches away. And instead of chasing the roaches, you might want to just focus down this base. The spine crawlers are out of position to deal with the Goliaths. These roaches turning around to deal with these. And the roaches do tank a lot of damage, but their fireballs just don't do as much as you think they would. The Ultralisks and roaches coming over here to finish off these Goliaths. And now that the spine crawlers are on it, I can't imagine these Goliaths are going to do much more damage. And then we're going to try to focus down the hatchery. The Zerg army just gathering down here, not really paying attention because he's got a lot of Mutalisks focusing down all the production facilities. AlmightySosa, and this might turn into a base race. He's just streaming all of his units over to attack the Zerg player. He's not really sending anything back home. He's just got Marauders, tanks. He's really focusing on a ground-heavy army. When really there aren't a lot of Mutalisks left. He just needs a little bit of anti-air to deal with this, but he threw away his Goliaths. His Vikings are over here just killing overlords. And Vultures are trying to throw in on like a million spider mines at once. But all the spider mines clumped up, gonna get taken out before they can do anything. And now the siege tanks aren't even sieged up. They're sieging up just to die. Vulture's forced to retreat, and meanwhile all of his production facilities are going down. A big group of Goliaths just spawn though. They don't turn around to fight. Unfortunately, they're just going to keep going to the rally point. There they go. They reach it and they turn around suddenly. Blinded by fury, they're going to go ahead and try to attack these Mutalisks, picking off a couple of them. Mutalisk count continues to fall, but now he's got to worry about Roach and Ultralisk. Nice little Spider-Man connection there, cleaning up a wounded Vulture as well as a big group of Zerglings, so definitely worth that there. But Cozy taking a command, and the Vulture is going to clean up a couple more Zerglings on the way up to their base. This Marauder out of play is actually going to be a hero and finish off that. I guess he doesn't actually finish up, but now he's got 4 Ultralisks running right at him. That's got to be a terrifying sight. These Mutalisks flying over now. Not a lot of Mutalisks left at all. These Vikings and Goliaths definitely enough to deal with that. And I feel like he just needs a couple more siege tanks, so he just doesn't have a lot of that heavy hitting power right now. He's got a lot of Goliaths and Vultures, and Ultralisk Roach just overwhelming these two bases right now. We've got a little counterattack here with a couple of siege tanks. Looks like it's getting cleaned up though. This Viking's not even going to help. They're just going to hang out and watch. Oh, but the Ultralisk turns around at the last minute. Must be hotkeyed with the rest of his army. And these siege tanks are just out of range of the hatchery though, so they're going to keep standing. Nice little choke here that AlmightySosa is abusing, but the Roaches also have range, and they're just sending volley after volley on these. Spider-Man not doing much. 2 good connections though, cleaning up a few Roaches. And he's just running out of options right now. His production just starting. He's queuing up 5 siege tanks on there. So someday he's going to have quite a terrifying army. This Goliath trying to abuse range a little bit, getting a few 3 shots off. This siege tank needs to run away. This dropship can maybe pick him up and put him to a better spot, but no, not today. Siege tank gets taken out. His third also falling for these few Mutalisks on hold position here. When the missile turrets actually start to engage, he doesn't actually manage to pick one off though. AlmightySosa might be able to establish himself in a new position though with how slow his base is getting killed off. These siege tanks do manage, he moves them up a little bit, finishes off the hatchery. There's a few Goliaths in the main that unfortunately got caught by these spine crawlers. Will get taken out though. But nice response. General, he had the right idea. He's trying to inflict a full amount of damage, but he's going to tap out now that all his production is done.